Hey guys, so I don't know if I made a video yet about what I'm doing with the recession, because I keep on posting a ton of videos anymore and I just don't remember. So obviously there's a recession coming. If you're not watching, there's a lot going against us. This could really destroy a lot of businesses. Like it's going to, right? So I had a discussion with one of my workers yesterday. He was actually an installer for me. He ended up going the subcontractor route, as well as still installing for me, and then ended up trying to steal business. So we got him out of installing. He now works in the warehouse, which he's been like a great asset for. But we were just having this discussion yesterday because he was getting nervous, right? Because of a few things. One, for his just starting this thing, but it's cheap people. It's they're obviously have the money. They're expecting him to like buy the materials, and then it's been a whole mess. So I asked like, how many leads you got coming a week? And he's like, well, probably 10. I'm like, well, that's the problem. I said, we have, for yesterday alone, I think we had 30 leads, and on a consistent basis for the week, we're going to have like 100 plus 120, something like that. So I said, there's always going to be cheap people, but as far as dealing with the, finding the people with money, like you just need more leads. But anyway, with the recession, there's a lot going against us. Obviously the housing market slowed down. The Fed's meeting this week. They're talking another like 75 basis points, which is drastically going to increase, the interest rates. And so we went from 3% to 5%, and then realistically, like this is probably getting us closer to 7%. So, like I was explaining to him, like people were, if the mortgage was going to be, 2,000 at 3%, now it's like 2,200, and now when the Fed raises again, it's going to be like 2,500 a month. And because people don't buy based on price, they buy based on how much it's going to cost them per month. So you're going to see a big slowdown on that. Obviously, inflation's through the roof. Every time I get gas, it's like $85, and like there's a lot of things going against us. And the stock market's really taking a hit, crypto's taking a hit, and I don't think the government really has the ability, once the shit really hits the fan, of like printing more money, because that's why the inflation is the way it is right now. So this is what I'm going to be doing. One, I'm going to be doing a video that kind of outlines all my thoughts and kind of like what I'm doing within this video of like what I think is going to happen, what's kind of going on, and like what are we going to do about this thing, right? And typically we're just really busy right now, so I'm going to be creating this video for the people to watch, and then basically we'll have like an open discussion on like a Sunday or Saturday morning, something like that, for people that want to discuss it. Because at the end of the day, like the employees, like they're fearful of what's going on. Like, especially for contractors, these employees that you have working for you, they're worried that you're going to actually have work for them, right? So they have to, they have to feel comfortable knowing that like you have their back, right? In my opinion. So that's why I'm going to be having this open discussion of what's going on. To make sure we don't get screwed for this recession, right? So I talked in other videos, but our number one issue that we were having is just the consultation rate, or the closing rate is so low at 7%. We brought in a sales trainer. I brought in a new salesperson. I just talked about this in another video. But in the first, so today is Wednesday. So the new salesperson has been on the phone for a total of 7 days, right? So 5 last week, 2 this week. Whatever results been, well, nothing short of like absolutely amazing. So the consultation rate. So again, like we give pricing over the phone, and then once they decide for us to come out, we do charge them $75. So typically, as of right now, the average consultation rate is only around 12%, somewhere around there. Him, 25. Right out the bat, doesn't even really know fencing at this point, doesn't really know like the systems and everything else. He's still getting himself situated, and he's literally double at this point, and in some cases like 2.5 times higher. So what that's going to mean is basically the business will double, which is what I wanted to happen. Like I thought I had everything and it planned out. We are going to go from like 7% to 14% because we had the sales trainer. But I realized that we just can't do that with brand new people that don't really know sales. So I brought in someone with sales sales, paid them a drastically higher rate. Like typically the way I pay is $15 per hour base plus commission, which you could probably earn somewhere around 70 grand doing that if you're halfway decent. With him, it's a 50 grand base salary, and the commission structure is a little bit higher. So realistically, like the way he's going, like he's probably gonna end up pulling in like 120. But the important thing to remember is that he is going. He like I'm paying him 120. He to be able to get 120, he's going to be generating about $600,000 to $700,000 worth of profit for us. So it's not too bad. It's kind of like putting in the dollar. You know, you pay $1 and you get $5 in return. Like I will do that all day, every day. I don't know why it took so long to do this. Honestly, it was probably a fear of like them just not working out and like that, those kinds of things. So those are the two main things that we're doing. Like I said, with the sales trainer and now the actual salesperson. Along with that, like in my opinion, with the amount of like when the recession hits, a lot less people are going to be looking for fencing or like whatever you sell, right? And which is only natural because they one either don't have money, two they're scared about what's going to happen and things like that. And then the only people that are really going to move forward, in my opinion, are the people that are financially able to, which is going to be a low percentage of people. Not only financially, but you know, comfortable spending thousands of dollars in a really down market. So that's where we're kind of at with that. Or people that absolutely need it. So for us, like the fence is falling down, something like that. If you're in remodeling, I don't know, flood. For me, it's still enough. So, but if you only have 10 leads a week, and imagine only going down to like five or even two or three, like what is that going to do for your business? One, you know, you don't have enough jobs, so you end up going to lower your pricing, and because you have less leads and everything else, what ends up happening is you're not booking enough jobs, so then you lower your price to book more jobs, but you're still not booking enough jobs because you don't have enough leads coming in. So what ends up happening is if just say you need $5,000 per week and you're making an average of $1,000 per job, well now, you know, if that was, you know, five jobs and because you got, you know, 10 leads, so you're booking at 50%, which we obviously don't. Well, that's great and everything, but now you're going to be starting to drop your prices. So now instead of making $1,000 per job, you're only going to be making like $500 per job, and now you're only getting four leads. So now you're only booking two jobs at two jobs at 500 apiece. Now you're only making 1,000 instead of the 5,000 that you needed. So like it's 20% of what you used to make. Like it's a scary thing to think about, in my opinion. So this is where you have to focus your time and attention. If you don't have the leads, like in my opinion, you have to focus on that, because if you're not getting them now, you're sure as shit not going to get them later. Now the bonus side with the recession coming up and stuff like that is no one's going to be advertising, right? So what that means is if you're typically on Google Ads paying like $3 per click, $5 per click, something like that, it's going to be drastically lower because there's less competition and it's supply and demand, right? So instead of being like $5 per click, it might be $3 per click, which for me, I'm excited for, because that means I can spend the same amount of money and you know, generate probably 40 to 50% more leads. But again, most people, like, because they just stop advertising. So like I was the opposite. You know, when COVID first hit, you know, I'm in South Jersey, and could have been a complete nightmare. I went from advertising $3,000 a month to I upped it to $8,000 a month because I'm just crazy. But what ended up happening, luckily everything worked out, but like I was fully planning on taking over all the market share. So anyway, in like number one is leads. That's for everyone, and then after that's closing percent. But if you're already booking a higher closing percent, but you don't have enough leads, so you got to focus on leads, in my opinion. So that's where we're kind of at. But like I said, just with this new sales guide, like this is going to generate a shit ton of business. Along with that, we started another side where we're wholesaling to like our subcontractors at this point. So that's generating not a ton of money, but that's bringing in like an extra 2-3 grand a week, something like that, or not even that much. I'm sorry, with the savings for us and then for the subcontractors, we're probably saving, but then I'm paying all my employees. I'm probably only bringing in an extra grand a week, probably something like that. But that's 50 grand a year, and we're just getting started. We're just figuring things out. So that's where we're kind of at this point. So if you're able to bring in other services, which I normally don't recommend, but like at the end of the day, like if you don't have enough leads coming in, like that's scary to me. It's really scary because like we just don't have that problem. Like because that's all I've focused on the last 6 years. If you need help with this kind of stuff, look on for Google My Business. You can type in Google My Business on my page. There's a video. It tells you exactly what to do. If you're looking to hire someone out, we can do it for you. It's going to be $1,500 a month if you want to do that. But it's support@localprohelper.com. It's not something we're really into, but I feel as though I need to help other people. I honestly, because I outsource some of the work and some of this, and then I do some of the stuff, like it's really not a money maker. But I'm kind of scared for what's going to happen. I'm not really scared, but the other way to look at it is like you have the stock market that's going to crash, which then you can make a shit ton of money on the way back up. So, and actually you can make a shit ton of money on the way down. So, so that's where I'm kind of at. Hopefully this helps you guys. If you need any help or need me to talk about something specific, let me know. Send in a message or the comments or support@localprohelper.com. So anyway, have an awesome